You might think that's the L in New York. Or Ozzy Osbourne's version of the Crazy Train. But actually, it's just the wind through the hardwoods along the Appalachian Trail. I thought it might be an interesting sound for those of you who have been up here. Good morning, everybody. So first day back on the trail at Whitley Gap after Neil Gap, taking a 0. Wasn't a bad night. The rain finally stopped. The wind's been unbelievable again. In fact, it was so strong last night and twisted the tent so much that it actually popped one of the clasps that connected the tent to the poles. Temperature, wind speed at the beginning of our day here in Whitley Gap. Good morning. I'm just coming to the transition from the uphill to the downhill coming out of Whitley Gap shelter. I think I had mentioned yesterday I made a mistake by coming here rather than just going on to Low Gap, only because Low Gap was like 3.8 miles away, but Whitley Gap is 1.2 off trail, so I really was less than 3 miles away from Low Gap, and it would have been a faster transition this morning back on the trail. And that's a cold spot down there. It was 35 this morning, really windy. Woo! I think I have some audio recording. Sounds like a train. Oh, wow. What a view, though. Hey, guys, I got to show you this view. Wow. That is a view. What a spectacular view this morning. Boy, that makes up for yesterday and maybe for making the decision to come to Whitley Gap shelter anyway. All right, let me get back to straight on with. Oh, that was some view, huh? Anyway, following up with the fact that it's 35, note to self: your deck shell waterproof socks, which you love more than any other piece of gear possibly, will not dry out. Overnight. And putting them out in 35-degree weather in the air so that they will dry out will result in one thing. Sorry, my arms are getting weak. 35-degree socks that you put on in the morning. And no matter the liners you have, they will quickly freeze your toes. Whoa, took me that whole uphill just to get them to an operating temperature. So, anyway, It was a good crew there. I think I had mentioned, sorry, but my arms are killing me. I sleep on them wrong, and they just, fighting me. Oop. Good God. Am I a train wreck this morning or what? For the love of God. Okay, now here we go. So anyway, good crew there last night. I went there because I had met Vapor and Boss on the trail coming up the hill. Maybe Whitney Mountain or something. Anyway, it was just outside of where we are. And Vapor's the blind gentleman, and Boss is his wife, and I presume his wife anyway. And man, they are really cool, you know. I mean, what a cool couple. They have got it down. She walks in front of them and just simply says, you know, rise, fall, you know, object to the left, right, whatever. And he is so sharp with it that he just follows and can follow even up this crazy terrain. So, man, good on those guys. I'm not kidding you. That is a freaking inspiration. Also met Z, really good guy. Nooner, which isn't what I thought, and probably is not what you think. But apparently he's a little slow to rise, so they called him Nooner. Another gentleman, damn, I can't believe I can't remember his name. They're sort of forming a tramily, I think, those guys. And then there was a Singleton. I never really met him, but we just passed greetings and seemed like a nice guy. I'll probably meet him up ahead. He wears sort of an expeditionary helmet, so he stands out, kind of like me in my kilt. Not going to miss us. Anyway, he seemed like a nice guy, but he sort of came in, put his stuff up, squared his stuff away, and boom, it was done. So, you know, some of the folks are like that. They really got their mission set and they're squared away. They don't spend a lot of time jaw-jacking. Anyway, he seems like one of those cats. So, it's a good morning. I'm actually looking to do 14 today, and that would actually be 15 because I'm still on the 1 mile Blue Blaze, just trying to get out of the shelter. Big day. May not make it, but I started earlier than I have any other day. Normally I got out about 9:30 with Elle and I. This time I got out at 7:45. Still took me an hour and a half. Yeah, still took me an hour and a half to get my breakfast on, and well, instead of jaw-jacking at you and blinding you at the same time, I will mosey on down this Blue Blaze, and then when I get back on the AT, call you back up. Now that's a funny sign. You're telling me. Huh. Use low gear. They should have a hiker tumbling head over heels on that sign. Nice little stretch of trail here. I think I should be coming up to Low Gap Shelter in the not too distant future. I've been making real good progress this morning. Uphills haven't been too extreme, and the downhills have been easy. A lot of it has been like this, and you can really move, I would guess, I'm somewhere around the 3-mile-an-hour range. So this far this morning, of course, slower on the uphills, but yeah, I'm real happy with the progress this morning. I think there were probably quite a few people at Low Gap last night. As I had mentioned earlier, I felt like I'd made a little bit of a mistake stopping early, theoretically early. I mean, I started at 12:30 yesterday afternoon in the teeming pouring rain and high winds, and got 9 miles under me for, what was that, my 5th day out. It's not too bad. I mean, I'm not one of these superstars. We've got some folks who had stayed in early shelters with us who can really punch huge miles. They're probably already to Hiawasi, maybe even beyond. I'm hoping to be able to get to the bigger miles in Virginia or something, but for the time being, this is really nice, really pleasant. Yesterday was not, but I think we're in store for 4 days of good weather, which may actually be some sort of record for this area, according to my experience thus far in northern Georgia. It sure is beautiful, though. You know, they say the trail will teach you and provide, and I really think that all of this areas, we have some intense areas of rocks that we've already gone through, and I can't help but think of Pennsylvania and southern New Jersey, and of course then up into New Hampshire and that sort of thing. That, you know, this is just training for managing the rocks on maybe a slightly lesser or easier scale, if that's true. And the roots are really significant here, which I think will stay with us all the way through Virginia. There's a lot of course, muddy, sloppy, washed out areas. But one of the most pronounced things that we missed because of my electronics issue on the day that we went from Ramrock to Neal Gap was the number of blowdowns from Irma. There were literally just dozens in one area. You'd go down the trail half a mile and there'd be another dozen. And I'm talking about big trees, older trees. The root balls seem to be a little small relative to the height of the trees. I'm not sure why that is. Some of them, of course, are huge. Another Kardashian tree here. But just thought I'd give you a shot of the trail. This is a bit of an uphill, not sure if it's going to come out on the shot. Hopefully it's not too jittery. I'm using the backside or out-facing camera with the stability control, so hopefully it's managing. Alrighty, made it to the Low Gap shelter. The guy said it was 3.8 from the Whitley shelter turnoff and 1.2 down to the shelter. So basically in 2 hours and 20 minutes I did 5 miles. So just about 2 miles an hour. I guess that's okay. I thought I might be a little bit faster than that, but there were some steep uphills that I was moving very slowly. But I'm pretty happy with my pace and progress at this point, so continuing on. What a beautiful water source. Wow, look at this. It comes right across the trail. But then, if you look up, you can see how beautiful. Look at that. Wow. That's the sort of iconic water source you think about when you dream about the Appalachian Trail. Pretty neat. Wow, I came down just around the bend, and here's another beautiful water source. In fact, it caused me to look up where I was. Horse Trough Mountain. It's not one that you hear a lot about, frankly. Back this out, won't be so jittery maybe. Not one you hear a lot about, but it really is pretty. You know, another thing that I've noticed along this area is a lot of wild boar activity, rooting along the edge of the trail. So that's sort of, I mean, of course there's lots of wild boar in Georgia, but it's just neat to see it. Give you a slow pan here. This beautiful little crossing, and then down into a really nice little valley. There's obviously a river at the base of this because both of those are flowing to the same direction, and I'm sure there are many more, so maybe I'll look up on gut hooks and see if it'll show me. Anyway, just thought I'd show you something beautiful. I'll shut up for a second and let you actually have the sounds of this area. Thought I'd just shoot this. Sort of, it's nothing spectacular, but it was such a change of scenery from the open hardwoods with no leaves that I thought it was worth a little shot. Here's a twist on what I've been showing you. The trail has actually become the water course. Where the water course has become the trail, right down, smack down the middle of the trail is my water source. Oh, look at that though. The origin of it though takes us back to the others. Yeah, this Horse Trough Mountain is actually really a neat spot. I know this picture won't do this justice, but that hillside is awesome. I mean, it is epic. It is so high and so steep. That is unbelievable. So I'm just beyond Jack's Gap. or the crossing for Jack's Gap. The trail here is relatively level, but the hillside that you walk along truly is stunning. Okay, approaching Blue Mountain Shelter. The area looks just like Gooch Gap with that big valley. And I assume the shelter positioned along this trail that I'm on